Hey, this is Peter, and welcome to another Take a Break with Valley CAD. So, have you ever had it to where you had an existing model and you needed to come up with like packaging material for it? Or maybe you have a tool that needs to come in and indent into an existing model, in a real life application. Well, guess what? We're going to be working through that in this lesson, and it's a feature that's called the Indent Command. And so we're going to be working on the aspect of making packaging material like a styrofoam indent, or you can even look at it as in a mold setup if you like as well. So go get your favorite cup of coffee or tea, and I'll see you in SOLIDWORKS in just a click. Hey there, welcome to SOLIDWORKS. So you'll see that I got this model here, and this is actually a file that we work on in our Essentials class. And if you want to learn more about our SOLIDWORKS Essentials class, it is a 4-day course, and we are actually teaching that class online, in person, also in a hybrid form, meaning, hey, if you can only be in our office for a day and you take the rest of those days, the 3 days, and at your office or at another location, guess what? We're offering that portion online for you. So give our sales team a call, learn more about our Essentials class. It is a great class for those of you that want to learn the foundations of SOLIDWORKS. So in this example, we did work through shelling out the part. We added ribs, and also we learned about a full round fillet. All right, so we're not going to be talking about those sort of features in this video. What we want to talk about is the indent command. And you'll see the indent command is actually already on my command ribbon across the top. If you don't know where this is located, that's totally fine. In the top right corner, what I always recommend is you use the search commands function. And so if you simply click here and select commands, you can then type in a word such as indent, and you will see that command living right there. All right, so before we hop into the indent command, we have to set up our part proper for it. So I came in and I created a sketch right here, right after my draft 2. And I don't really care about all the shell and all these features below it. So I'm going to take my rollback bar and go right below sketch number 9 there. So that way this part looks like a solid chunk, right? It's a good desk weight, right? So as we come in here, what we want to do is utilize that sketch number 9, and it's just a simple rectangle. And what we're gonna do is use this to extrude a new cube around this. So as I was mentioning, we're probably gonna use this in the form of injection molding, or you could use it in the form of, hey, I wanna make a packaging material for this, such as like styrofoam, when we need to indent into this. Use your imagination, however you wanna do it. Either way, it will work for it. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is I'm gonna come in and I'm gonna double click on this face here. Whenever you start a boss base extrude and you simply come in and double click on a surface, SOLIDWORKS will automatically switch to up to surface command. Really convenient. In this scenario, we do want to do offset from surface. So the reason why I double clicked on it and then changed my in condition type, because that way it just came in and automatically grabbed my surface for me. All right, so I'm going to say reverse to that, and we'll make it so it stays at 6.35 millimeters. That's totally fine in this scenario. Now you might be sitting there going, okay, cool. You got a block, and where did your power strip go, right? Let's see here. Might be inside of it, right? Oh, come in section view, and oh, that looks like a block. Yeah, Peter, that's a great job making an indentation there, right? Well, I did that on purpose here for you. In order for the indent command to work properly, you have to be in a multi-body part design. Now, right now, I only have one body. You're like, well, wait a minute. You had that power strip. Where did it go? It didn't just disappear. I was like, well, actually it got consumed inside of this cube here. So what we're gonna do is come back and edit boss extrude number 2 there and say edit feature. And so why did SOLIDWORKS automatically consume my power strip? Well, it's that little checkbox right here called merge results. Uncheck that. Okay, so you have to be in what's called a multi-body design in order for a command such as indent to work. Now, how do I know I'm in a multi-body design kind of mode right now? Well, in my design tree on the left side, you'll see I have a folder here that says solid bodies. And currently it has a 2 next to it. And as I expand it out, you'll see I have a draft body and a boss extrude 2 body. And also as I rotate to the bottom, you kind of see like ghosting or artifacting of my power strip inside of here. That's a really good way to tell, hey, guess what? You're working with two bodies and they're just kind of on top of each other. All right. So as we come in here, I'm going to use my display pane manager here, and I'm going to simply checkbox that or click on that chevron to pop it out. Now, what's nice about this, your display manager here, or display pane, I should say, is that you can actually come in. You'll notice how you have 4 columns. You have an eyeball. This is your hide show. This is changing your display mode. So if you want shade with edges, if you want it so hidden lines removed or visible, you can actually come in and change those here. You can also change the color of something. So if I come in here and say like, hey, Boss Extrude, I want you to be a different color. Let's make it so that you're red in this scenario, and simply say okay. That's a really good effect to go after because it makes it easier to tell that there's different bodies in your model. And then the very last one there is a transparency. So if I click on this, that'll make it so that that body is transparent. And that's a really helpful thing to do as well when you're doing a command such as indent. All right. So I set up my model to make it a little more, efficient for me to do the indent command. So indent, as I mentioned, if you don't have it on your command manager up here, you'll need to search for it. Okay, so since I do have it, I'm just gonna simply click on indent. And then from here, you're gonna have 2 bodies you need to select on. One of them is called a target body, and the other one's called a tool body region. And by the way, we're gonna be doing a cut indent command here. So with the target body, that's a body that wants to get deformed or molded. So in this scenario, it's going to be our red cube that we created. All right. Now what we want to do is say, hey, I want a tool body region. Now you'll notice here that SOLIDWORKS is not grabbing my body in the back end, right? So all I need to do is right click on the surface and say select other. From here, I'm just going to click on that top face. And from here, I'm going to say cut. When I say cut on here, SOLIDWORKS will come through and it will take the entire outside geometry of my model of that power strip and it will cut into my red cube. And also, if you wanted to, if you are dealing with injection molding part, as something cools, it will actually shrink a little bit. And so you can actually create an offset here if you wanted to. So if we say, hey, yeah, let's make it so that this is going to be 1 millimeter. You'll notice here how it offset 1 millimeter from my original model. In this scenario, I'm just gonna say 0 at this time. We'll make it so it's gonna be exact fit, right? All right, so we'll come in here and we'll simply say okay to that. And you might be going, all right, cool, Peter, you got something set up there. Oh, look at this. Okay, nice. I'm gonna come back over to my display pane here. I'm gonna turn off that transparency. Look at that. Notice how originally it showed it like kind of overlaying each other, right? The red and that kind of tan color were kind of artifacting weird. Well, it's not doing that now. So I'm gonna hover over my original power strip and push tab. Look at that. SOLIDWORKS came in and it took the geometry of my power strip and indented it into my red cube here. Pretty cool, huh? And since I made my indent happen higher up in my design tree, I can actually come in and use my rollback bar. And as I come down, you'll see here, I'm gonna come back over and hover over my model and push Shift Tab so we can see my power strip inside of my housing here, right? And if I come a little bit further down, you'll see here that it shows my final part. And so I could push Tab to hide my housing unit, or I could push Shift Tab to bring it back. And I could also do the same here. Tab to hide, Shift Tab to show it. And so you can also come in and save out this indent body as a separate part file if you need to. So using that indent command can be a really powerful tool. So if you are enjoying these videos, please click that thumbs up button. Also click subscribe so you get notified. Well, I hope you enjoyed your cup of coffee or tea. Have a great rest of the day and make sure you learn something new.